wanted to hop in and remind you that you are awesome, you're amazing, and in fact, you are a fucking phoenix. I'm having a conversation with this individual recently who's a high-level entrepreneur, and we were talking all about their certain area of expertise and their process and how they created this amazing business. And it is an amazing business. But during the course of our conversation, this person starts talking about my story and asking me about my story. So I tell him that I went from a 108-pound artist to my city's first female firefighter, and then I'd given a TED Talk and so on. And my point of telling him that was to illustrate that everything is possible. And so he continued telling me about his how his method was superior and it was great, and it is truly amazing. But there was just sort of a certain air about it that didn't taste good. And so the reason I'm sharing this story with you is because at some point you're going to experience something similar. So what ended up happening was he said to me, like, who are you to become a firefighter when you had like no business doing that? You went from this little girl who was an artist, like who are you to do that? And who are you to give a TED Talk? You were nobody. And you know what? He's absolutely right. Who was I to give a TED Talk? Who was I to become a firefighter? Who was I to author a kid's book? The point is, you can do anything you want, and your end point is not dictated by what other people tell you. So I just wanted to hop on real quick, remind you that you're awesome, that everything is possible, and I wanted to share 3 points with you that are super important and super key to this message. So first of all, your future is not created by default. Your future is created by what you decide and what actions you choose to take. There is literally nothing you can't do. There was a guy who said, I would like to climb Mount Everest. And everybody said, you're crazy. Do you know what the odds of that happening are? Do you know how many people try and fail? And he said, I don't care. I want to climb Everest. And he did, except he was blind. So can you imagine what that guy heard when he voiced his dream out loud and said, hey, I have this big quest. I want to go do this thing. And everybody said, that'll never happen. Not for you. That's not possible. And he did it. And so there's thousands of examples of people like that. So first of all, we get to create our own reality. We get to create our own future, and we get to decide what it's going to look like. Second thing is when people come at you and they're telling you about all of the things you can't do, or about the odds, or about logic, or about it's never been done before, I want you to remember that that is usually the voice of their fear. And they don't do it out of malice, and in many cases, in fact, they're loving you within the parameters of what they're comfortable with. But for them, sometimes a big quest or a big vision or something way over the top is completely inconceivable. So it's not possible in their minds. So keep in mind that just because somebody, will spew the odds to you about it not being done before or the chances of it being done, that is not based in reality. That's based in their fear and their optics. And the third thing is, that's 3, the third thing is, you're amazing. Like, the possibilities for you are absolutely infinite. So the third point is actually about alignment, because here's what some people don't get. Your dream is not necessarily for everybody to see or for everybody to understand or for them to feel it or be passionate about it. And it doesn't matter, because here's the truth. If you're following something that is true for you, it can be like crazy. But if it's true for you, then first of all, you're leading with passion and purpose instead of leading with logic. Because the first thing that happens when you lead with logic is you'll look at that amazing thing and you'll think, oh man, I would love to do that. The next thing that happens is you start to, in your logical mind, calculate all of the obstacles and challenges in between you and that thing, and then you stop looking at that thing. And when you stop looking at that thing, then all you have that you're focusing on is the challenges. And that's where most people fall off the rails, because they're not focusing on the right thing. So find something that you're aligned with that's true and just give her. The second thing is, don't pay attention to the people who are telling you what is and what is not possible. That's for you to determine for yourself. And oftentimes, again, based on other people's fear, even though they're loving you within what's comfortable for them. And the third thing is you get to create your future. So I will leave you with that. Click the link and subscribe. And I'm Shelly, and your story matters. And you're a Phoenix.